she came outside and there was G-Wagon, a Porsche, and he's like, pick which one you want.
There's a level that probably shouldn't exist.
Welcome back to the podcast.
That's right.
It's episode 21 now, so we have to have a name. And Adam and I have been mulling over the decision to name it.
So permanent.
Yeah, it is. I think that's really why it's like,
is.
you
It's
know,
like naming a child.
I feel like I got lucky. Well, not lucky with Fat and Weird, but the name was a good name and people have like affirmed that. And then you're just like, I don't want to screw this up.
Yep.
But we've decided after kicking around some different names that involve recipes and dough.
Yeah, well, you know, we're obviously in the baking business, in the cookie business now, you know, and a lot of the stuff that, you know, you asked for feedback and, you know, we've kind of kicked around the feedback and stuff, but we get a lot of like, you know, success this or, you know, business that or whatever. And like, I think we've been pretty clear that like, yeah, business is a big part of our lives, but so is family and so is everything else. And
Yeah.
I don't think either one of us, we're both ambitious people. So I don't think either one of us are ever going to be like, made it, so successful now.
I think I have the hardest time like in mentorship because I feel like I'm not qualified enough.
Right.
And then everyone else is like, bro, you are so
Same.
qualified. But I'm like, I could have did
I've struggled with that forever because, you know, who I'm aspiring to be is higher than in anything that I do, fitness, entrepreneurial stuff. So since I haven't made it to that in my mind, I couldn't possibly help people that are not even to where I am in my journey.
Yeah.
But even success across the board, man. We're into fitness, we're into family, we're into who knows what, man, having fun, but obviously business stuff. So,
yeah, and then we also didn't want to name it like the Brad and Adam Show or Bradams or whatever people recommend, which is funny. But the truth is, you know, I have seen before when, you know, had a previous podcast that if you name the podcast after the people in it, if anything in life happens where those people aren't near you or schedules don't align anymore, the podcast is gone. So we have decided on In the Oven.
In the Oven, y'all.
Because it's a play on the baking side of things, which obviously Fat and Weird is a major part of what we do.
That's right.
It's also just a play on just like being in it, you know, like in the grind.
Kind of like the crucible, kind of like
the,
you know, the fire forges, that type of situation, just a play on it, not taking ourselves too seriously.
And the oven is very transformative.
Yep.
It turns raw things into cooked things,
does.
right?
It does.
So, so we felt like that was just a really unique name for us. So it's The Oven with Brad and Adam.
That's right. It also gives us the chance to kind of, again, affirm what we're doing here, which is whether or not we do anything with this is building something that is more than just us, right? So like Fat and Weird, like any business, like any brand that you build, you're building something that you have the honor, right? We have the honor of kind of holding the torches at the moment, but hypothetically we could pass that torch or any number of things, but just
something that transcends you.
It's bigger than you. Yeah, for sure.
You. Yeah, for sure. So that'll be the name moving forward. We'll probably get it thrown
a name
on Spotify and all that other stuff too. If you
for sure.
But if you always the preferred format for me is YouTube. I love to be able to see the people talking.
Definitely.
So we'll keep doing it on YouTube as well. But now that we have the name out of the way, the last thing we talked about was, you know, Christmas was coming up, and so Christmas happened, and Max gave me the suggestion. So if you see this, Max Tuning, I appreciate you.
Thank you, Max.
But he just wanted us to be more in real time.
Yep.
So this
a little faster.
So our podcast episodes are now going to be either recorded on Tuesday or Thursday. It just depends on our schedule. But then they'll be uploaded on Monday. So by the time, like if you're watching the podcast the day it comes out, if you comment, we can reply to those comments in the next week's podcast. So we'll just be like more on top of that.
2024, y'all. Also, right?
Oh yeah, and today,
Happy New Year
is New Year's. So
we're in the future.
But yeah, Max had talked about getting up to date. So this podcast is being recorded on Thursday, the 28th of December, and then the 1st you'll be seeing it. So we're gonna talk about our Christmas. We're going to talk about New Year's. We're going to talk about just some goals that we have for 2024 to hopefully get you in the spirit, if you haven't done it yet, when you watch this, that it motivates you to do it.
Yeah. Go 2024, y'all.
Yeah. So I want to start with how was your Christmas?
Good. Very good. Very peaceful. My mom came over in the morning. We kind of did the normal, you know, kids hanging out stuff. feel kind of silly. Liam, well, all my kids got Apple Pencils. They have iPads. So they got Apple Pencils. And even though I have an iPad and an Apple Pencil, I've not downloaded a coloring app on it. So Liam had one, and I basically hijacked that thing for an embarrassingly long time.
Really?
I just sat there. I was like, okay, coloring a little Christmas tree.
Okay,
it was great.
I don't want to get us lost, but why do ADHD people love like attention to detail work so much?
It's a cathartic thing. I don't know, man. Having like hard lines, your brain doesn't have hard lines. Most people compartmentalize really well. So we compartmentalize all kinds of things pretty well. Out of sight, out of mind on it. But like it's always going all the time. So it's hard, man. Some people get it. You know, my wife fortunately gets it for the most part, that sometimes I don't have the ability to just sit down and think about that thing. Now I can if it's like an emergency.
Yeah.
But it's better that I just hear it and go, and then who effing knows what I'll be doing? And I'll just be like, boom, I got a solution to that.
Yeah.
And it just comes out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, bringing that,
it's tiring.
that conversation is because I met with my friend Josh today at the gym, which Josh Watson, I don't know if you'll see this, but he was the first full-time baker for Fat and Weird after my aunt. My aunt is who helped us start the company and come up with a lot of the initial recipes. And then Josh, he was my first like full-time hire for Fat and Weird. So it was good catching up with him, but he has ADHD too. And so he said, he's into woodworking now.
Okay.
Like super into, and I'm talking like, I could show you some of the stuff he's done. You would be like,
well,
dang.
So let me also say this with those of y'all out there, those of us, you cannot pay attention to things sometimes to your own demise, but sometimes, and you don't always get to pick what it is, you will fixate on something. And people will go, how did you get so far so fast in something? It's like, and please, my wife will affirm this, when I lock in on something, it's like, that's all I think about.
Yeah.
Night, I sleep, I
Yeah.
go. And
Yeah,
so
I mean,
like,
I will say Adam be sending me stuff for Fat and Weird at like 11 p.m. or at 5 a.m.
Well, it's all I think about, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, ADHD people, and it's funny, I didn't know all this stuff. It's weird social media, right? It's like them reels where people are making little quick short reels, doing all those different things where I'm like, are you making is that about me right now? And then I'm like, whoa, other people think like this? Other people do this? Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So.
All right, so the Apple Pencils were a big hit for you, especially. What else?
My girls got this little like flyer fairy things, so they were loose all over my house. It was great. They were smacking me in the face all the time. So the girls, whatever, the girls thought it was hilarious. They didn't hurt too bad.
Yeah.
How about you?
So we did Christmas dinner with my family on Friday night because Clint is a deputy now, and so he had to work Monday on Christmas.
Nice.
So Christmas Eve was their family's Christmas, so we had to go a day back, to do like the Christmas Eve with the family because that's what we normally do. So we had prime rib, that's our tradition, all that stuff, and then Saturday we went over to my mom's house for breakfast, had breakfast, and then the kids opened stockings from my parents, and
Nice.
That's when the siblings do their gifts and stuff like that. So we kind of did the little get together there, and then obviously on Christmas, like just woke up, Letty played with all her new presents that she got, and then we went and saw that Migration movie.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it was a typical Illumination movie, which is Universal's company. So like Minions, so
almost as good.
Aubrey doesn't like it as much as Disney because it doesn't have any music.
Right.
And she said she feels like the biggest crucial part of winning these kids over, Frozen, is the song.
Music.
Right?
Oh yeah, it gets me in the feels.
So like all of the things that I like Disney because of the catchy songs, you know?
Well, it sticks with you. It's got that feel.
So Illumination, they don't have that, but they still, I mean, they make you feel good.
They're great. Oh yeah, they do make you feel good, but they're also like a little on the annoying side sometimes because they do like more of the like burp and fart humor and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, kids like it. It's funny. It's whatever, but if I have to pick between the two.
Yeah.
So
that's the biggest difference between those.
Well, at nighttime, we went over to my sister-in-law's house, and kind of the whole family gathered over there. So then that was a ton of fun because all the cousins, the kids all got to hang out. And I made a ton of food and ran the kitchen for a while so they could all hang out. And
what kind of food did y'all have?
My father-in-law got a prime rib. or not a prime rib, a tenderloin.
Okay.
So I was on what I keep saying that tenderloin detail. So basically I was on that, so it didn't get burnt or overcooked or anything, and then typical stuff, casseroles. And
we got into the Cousin Maine's lobster thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I actually have some of the lobster cream cheese filling up here, and I need to make you and Lacey a wonton when we get done with this. But for those that saw Aubrey and I's story on Sunday night, we didn't even really show it because my parents came over and we just scarfed it so fast. I mean, we made 2 lobsters. We made crab cakes.
You said mac and cheese,
the
right?
lobster mac and cheese.
Heck yeah.
And we were just eating through all that stuff. And I mean, I was definitely stuffed at the end of the day on that one.
Making me hungry.
Yeah.
I just got back from lunch.
But no, so that was what we did. So that was and then we had Chinese food on Christmas night.
Nice. That's a tradition, right? Don't people do that?
A lot of people do it. Yeah. I saw Crystal at the movie, and then she was at the Chinese.
It's probably because of the availability, right? A lot of them
it's
are
one of the very few places
open.
that are open. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So, but no, it took an hour to get our Chinese food. So
I mean, I
celebrate.
celebrate Christmas, but a lot of people, that's not a holiday to them inside the United States. So I wonder what they do.
But yeah, but overall, great. Had a really great time, but I was ready to get back to the routine of my day. I miss I like my day, how it goes. And so
mine's still a little not where I like it. So my sleep is off.
You're not there because your truck, right?
Yeah. Well, I got the vehicle issue, but really it's just Christmas, leading up to Christmas, the house is decorated. It's just different. There's just stuff, again, I like.
Yeah, because normally you could hit the gym super early.
I have a very
early.
consistent schedule so that I've minimized how erratic my life can go till at least the early afternoon because I've got everything locked in place. But then, just juggling family stuff and, I've got my dad's moving to town, so having to kind of help with some of that, and then of course,
people don't know about your background with your dad.
Yeah, well, we go into that later, but we didn't grow up together, and so there's some angst and animosity between that occurring. Like my mom has feels about it, I have feels about her feels, but also I have my own feels,
right?
And then if just general life shit, so it's it's all good problems to have, but we talked about the backpack full of pebbles. Just I'm ready to get through the new year just because at that point I get to go, all right, everyone, holidays are over. Daddy's got to get back to work. Get this backpack off me.
Well, so that brings up a really good point. What is it that's so therapeutic about I can make this life change, or I can set this boundary, or I can just be this is how it's going to be from this time moving forward when the new year hits. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it.
Well, there's something about it, but it's also, if you don't do it, it's like a hope and a change. And the only reason that I'm having any kind of wait for it is because, there is the people element of some of what I'm going to have to deal with and kind of say, these kind of how we're operating now.
Right.
That they attach to the new year, and so it's all right, I already know you attached to it. I'm attaching to it too. But then just anything, man. I think it's an exciting time. I think my wife and I have the saying of don't wait till Monday, don't wait for Monday. Why are you waiting? What's happening between now and then? People wait till the new year. You can get a lot fatter between. Well, I guess. It's already there, y'all. So I guess you can't. Good luck. Start your journey.
Like a New Year's resolution.
But yeah, man. I set New Year's resolutions, but I stick to them, man. It's just a calendar. It's not even a resolution, and it's not. I don't know. Yeah.
I think that for me, it's just an interesting thing that people can on January 1st. It's that year I've now put it in a box, and it's behind me, and everything moving forward isn't who I am. I can create a new person, but it's an ability that you have every day to do, right? It's
but then you gotta write out the recipe, man. So and we talked about religious stuff, but you pray for patience. God gives you an unpatient existence or whatever, man. Right. He'll test that patience and make you a patient. So if you want to learn about something, if you want to learn a language, I want to learn a language is not a plan. You're going to read 12 books this year on the language. 4 are going to be how to learn the language. 4 are going to be in the language that you're wanting to learn, and then whatever.
Right.
That's a plan, and it's quantifiable, and you can do it, and that's how you change. If you want to be stronger, you don't say, I want to be stronger, braver, or whatever. If you want to be stronger, you say, I'm going to go to the gym this many days per week.
Right. And then setting tangible or physical milestones.
Yeah, man. There, well, like one, change is that, like, I used to be very quick to project when I didn't like, just physically aggressive with people. And I thought I had cleared that. And I was out one night, and yes, alcohol was a little bit involved. And I didn't fight anybody. Nothing bad happened. But I felt an urge inside of me that I thought had died. I believe I was being tested and reminded of that because I was embarrassed. No one saw anything. Right. It was a feeling that I had. Anyways, I apologized very much to everybody I found that was involved, and even ran into the dude, looked him in the face, shook his hand, said, I'm sorry for being a dickhead in your establishment. I'm sorry, it's my fault, and just kind of left it at that. Like, everybody wanted to give their side if they were, no, their side. It's like, no, that was just a reminder that I've still got work to do on me. Yeah. And that's kind of part of my resolution from last year. We'll go into ours for this year, but I look at them like checklists.
Well, I was going to ask you, is there anything that you didn't accomplish this year that you...
Yes. I didn't hit my reading target. Yeah. I used to have an amount of books. This year was 10. It used to be 12, 1 per month. And I didn't hit it. I only did 3. I want to say 4, but I haven't finished the 4th one, and I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. It's very long. Yeah. Or a dry read. But I had a book club when we had the gym.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was ran by a dude that pressed us to all read books that we kind of didn't really want to read, but they were hard. Yeah. We finished them. You feel accomplished.
Right. Yeah.
So that was cool. Maybe books, for sure.
We'll keep you accountable on the podcast now.
Absolutely.
We can start asking you what book you're reading. People in the comments can help me out with that
great.
Too.
Yes.
And then be like, what book you on now? And then that's a kick in the butt if you haven't.
Well, because it can be anything, man. We consume so much from our phones, and what we do, we're forced to be on it.
I listen to Audible a lot.
I like Audible. Yeah. I like Audible. And what I like to do, though, too, is, and again, some of this is ADHD or whatever, my brain wanting to skip around. Yeah. I like listening to it and reading at the same time. I also read pretty fast, so I can crank the volume up, crank the speed up. One of them is getting it. One of them's getting it, so that's why.
Well, it's hard to get. A lot of times when I'm working out, I'll find that I've zoned out and I'm not even listening to it anymore. Right. So I don't think that I'm quite ADHD. I just have some tendencies.
Well, and we're all developing it a little bit because everything is so on demand. Like, you want info, you can get it. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. For me, something that I didn't accomplish that I was going to try set out was to start like business mentorship. Which, I mean, I guess I can argue that I've mentored people in there, but I didn't officially like create a business mentorship program.
Sure.
And I don't really even want to set it as something for me for 2024 because I just want to be so focused on Fat and Weird.
Yeah.
Next year, I think it'll be. I mean, I've been very focused on Fat and Weird the last couple of years. Last year and this year, and it's changing directions and it's doing really well.
It's not doing bad.
So I just want to keep that focus on that.
Wholeheartedly agree with you. Well, we talk about this, man, and it's hard to maintain focus. People look at it all different kinds of ways, but fracturing your focus. See, I did this early when I had the gym. I was in an industry that I couldn't really earn enough money with my local kind of personal training facility to live the lifestyle that I wanted for my family. But I was so interested in helping like the people that came through my gym. Like I was in the give back phase. Well, you want to mentor people because you want to help them just like I do. Yeah, there's money to be made out there. And yeah, it's a business. It's got to float itself. It would have employees. But like, you want to help people. So if we really focus on this thing, then blow it up, then it's sort of like, I'll help you for free. Or, yeah, you got I'm gonna help you make plenty of money, or a ton of money,
or I can put someone in your life to help you because I can do that for you.
Kind of blessing in disguise. We talked about that and kind of our helping nature.
Yeah. So I definitely think that you've opened my eyes to like a lot of different just like perspectives. I don't have a lot of people in my circle, and a lot of that's just because like I don't put myself out there as much. But two, it's a lot harder to find in Panama City, in my opinion. Like I guess high achievers. So the ones I do know in Panama City, I've been able to like bump elbows with them, but obviously I've spent the most time with you.
Man, and I know most of them, not all of them too. And I'll tell y'all on here the same thing I tell them. Being a pussy, you need to go harder. You need to do this. You need to do that, because it is, dude. Like there's not a lot of opportunities here, and because of that, the folks here are like weird about like, it's easier for me to do deals with people in other cities that like I've known for less amount of time sometimes than it is here. Okay, that's just the way the world works, I guess. But like, I don't know. There's a group of people that are putting on a good job for Panama City. Yeah. But a lot of them are doing it individually,
Right.
Without attacking any of them in particular, we've got a bunch of go-getters who are funneling their money out of Panama City, and a couple who are funneling it in, and not a lot of them doing deals together or anything like that. So
right, but your
whatever. I was raising capital for multifamily real estate, so like got a lot more money from outside of Panama City than inside. Right. Yeah. Couple. Kane knows what's up.
Yeah. Kane is killing it in the real estate world.
Yeah, sure.
But so I guess we want to get into like what our resolutions are for 2024. Like, have you put a lot of thought into it yet?
No, not yet. You know me, procrastination and Chat GPT.
Yeah.
But no, like it's going to be some of the same stuff, right? So it's going to be, I need to do something about my sleep. I don't know what, but I kind of get shit sleep.
Yeah. You're gonna do like a sleep apnea test
I need to do,
something?
So I need to like, but again, for me, sleep better. Like I need to like figure out a plan, which is going to involve some kind of sleep testing and some kind of probably a CPAP or whatever.
Yeah.
That, it's going to be my reading goals. Gonna hold myself accountable, but I want to write out like, not necessarily the books, but
type of books.
Yeah.
Or something
So like a couple of fiction, a couple of self-help books to me are too long. The message is this big, and then it's a whole lot of like,
right,
back in 1984, or like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those, like, it's just so long-winded where it's like the titles of the could be it, but some kind of learn something, and then definitely travel. We got to get that bag together. So, but a couple of trips, a couple of decent trips to areas that are eye-opening to me and my family. So just any other countries, any other areas, even probably some areas of the United States that are kind of off our radar maybe.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever thought about taking your kids like Yellowstone or Glacier and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. I like cool architecture and stuff too, though. So like, again, flight to even the Middle East or a flight to Europe or what, it's like 12 hours, of travel time or whatever it is. It's not a big deal. Add 2 days to a trip and.
Yeah, and you got it covered.
Good, man.
Yeah. I don't know. You've probably been to Dubai. I haven't, and I think that's on Aubrey's list.
It's cool, but it's just a big sandbox with a city in the middle of it. I'm not hating on it. It's just very man-made and cool. Burj Khalifa, very tall. But man, there's just some areas where you can kind of see the like. I don't want to sound racist. The buildings that look like they're from Aladdin, like when I was growing up, that's what I thought the Middle East looked like. Then when I flew in on a AC-130 and the Army and was on a military base with tents and didn't really get to see that much. And, then you didn't get to see it, you didn't get to live in it. But then when I kind of did some contracting stuff for a little while, living in some of those areas, it was very neat. And then South America, I went there some when I was young.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing people live like that.
Yeah, Aubrey and I watch sometimes on Netflix Dubai Bling.
Yeah,
and it's about like the rich people. It follows like a few rich friends in Dubai, and it's very interesting.
Stunting is part of that culture over there, though, man.
Yeah,
they just do. They got it like that. But.
So the push present that this guy got his wife was, this like $300,000 like bracelet.
Right.
And then she came outside and there was a G-Wagon, a Porsche, and some other vehicle. And he's like, pick which one you want. You can, whatever one you want. That's all. And I was just like mind blown by this was like a push present.
That's not even like the royal families. The Saudis and stuff will ship a car. They'll ship their Lambo from Saudi Arabia to LA when they could just buy one in like, think about what container shipping without scratching, without whatever. Some of these things are plated gold. They do that and then not change the license plates and get like tickets for having Saudi license plates. And they're just like, don't care.
Yeah.
Not changing my plates.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what?
Yeah. It's really wild.
And they come over here and live in their $1 billion brownstones or their whatever. And that's just like a vacation house on, Billionaires Row in New York or whatever. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
There's a level that probably shouldn't exist. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's where you're just like, this just seems wasteful at this point. Well, yeah, I mean, you like we were talking about.
But hey,
there's
the thing is that I don't, get into it. If you could earn it, if you lost your hair, making all the right decisions, or you did whatever, I mean, get it how you live, dude. But
so you're talking about Jeff Bezos losing all his hair?
Yeah, I mean, like, hey, man, they went from kind of nowhere to somewhere really fast. If you're just an oil inheritor,
right,
you should maybe act a little more certain way. I don't know.
Humble,
maybe
because he was just kind of
like royalty we used to think they acted until we found out they were all creepos,
the same as the regular population,
creepy and have islands.
Oh yeah, well that's just another level of creepy.
Sorry, I'm deflecting. All right, so the book reading, kind of quantify that. My sleep, and then
travel.
But I need a better quantification, so I'll roll that in my head. I probably won't have better ones. I'll have better ones by the next episode, or my actual plan.
Do you have any fitness goals at all?
Oh, I need some, but that would just be vague. My fitness goals change so much, and like as long as I'm being fit, I'm usually cool with that.
Yeah.
If I'm lifting a bunch of weights or if I'm cardioing or whatever, So, how about you?
I want a cold plunge every day next year that I'm home. So obviously if I've gone on a trip or vacation or whatever, I'm not going to like fret about finding a cold plunge. I just think that's be just ridiculous. Yes. But every day that I'm home and I, wake up here, then I want a cold plunge.
I like it.
So
we need to move your plunge to where it's facing the sun. I'll send you the clip, but Joe Rogan says like that's his daily thing. Andrew Huberman said like get as much sun in your face as you can first thing.
Yeah.
So Joe Rogan says he sits in it, gets in the sun. Dude, I'm telling you, when I kind of get like overwhelmed or whatever feeling or kind of like down, I know that when I go out and like kind of stare at the sun, obviously keep my eyes closed, but like you feel a little better. You feel like kind of a little flush in your face, and you kind of feel that. Maybe it's fake because of the flush in the face, but kind of that feeling of like.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just feel it.
Yeah, it's like
Superman just absorbing the sun.
Shining on you.
Oh, I was going to ask, do you have any goals for Fat and Weird in your there?
Yeah, but they're all revenue goals, and I don't know how transparent we want to be about that just yet. But do big things, man. We're gonna more than 10x the revenue that we did this year, next year, more than. We're going to get Christian excuse my language, again on the F words, but we're going to get Christian some serious sales targets and some serious market verticals. We're about to go live Q1 with Benny Keith.
And Myers.
And Myers and Cold Stone. So, I mean, that's all unquantified.
And Hershey's.
We're going in the Hershey's catalog. Well, on the Benny Keith side, making the marketing material, so like how we looked at that brand folder, us having the ability to push the printouts for the table. Restaurants know that they get more dessert sales and they get more up item sales with that little thing that stays on the table versus the menu that they pull away. So like little deals like that, the fact that it's going into, or the fact that it's 2024 now, us being able to put QR codes right on there and embed coupons into menus, even if we have like post print.
Yeah.
Keep track of it all. Then Benny Keith is out there pushing independent restaurants the ability to carry our product.
Yeah, right. As a frozen product and as
we have the ability to send Christian, myself, you to the national brands and say, we can fulfill your stores because we're national.
Right.
We've got coverage. So it allows just yet another card of, well, we're not doing anything with it yet. We're about to have the ability to go into Slim Chickens at every store across America, or pick another brand, and just go, boop. You want a dessert option? You want a custom flavor?
Yeah, the Hershey's catalog actually opens that up too to all the places. And then the Benny Keith is a partnership that not only opens those doors, but also is the delivery vehicle for it to go from here to there. So.
Well, the Hershey's thing is huge too, because it gives us that like seal of,
credibility.
Yeah, that pedigree, if you will. But we also get that going into Cold Stone. So, I mean, the second we get like collabed up with one of these powerhouses, we just need everybody to go, I know that name, I'll give that name a shot, and then we got you. We got you. We use Hershey. Yeah, we're going in Cold Stone. Cold Stone has good ice cream and stuff, but like we are standalone. So all you need to know about is us, and then just like this show, if we pass the torch or we do whatever we need to, no problem, because, it's good to go. Yeah, for sure. So it's exciting. How about you, man? What you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I got to revisit my numbers because your numbers are more aggressive than mine. I was going for $10 million in revenue just out the gate, and your number is more than that.
Yes.
Mine.
Yes.
So.
Well, Janie Lou's, man. We had that. I mean, we're not even adding that in.
We have a good partnership.
I mean, and I'm like, I feel like I'm being conservative because I feel like if I go the other way, then I'm like, well, what the hell are we getting so prepared for? Because
you're right. I know you're right.
But so.
Well, and at the same time, just like even this month compared to last year, this time we did well over double.
Yeah.
And truthfully, if you add in the Myers order, which, I mean, at some point you have to actualize that somewhere, then it's the best month that we've ever had in the history of Fat and Weird, not just since some certain time.
Right.
This is the best month ever.
Well, yeah, and so we're feeling the hit of a month's worth of gross revenue, basically, to our business that we just have in value sitting in a bonded storage warehouse.
Yeah.
So to kind of explain, we produced 126,000 whatever and change cookies, bagged them, palletized them up. If you saw either of the stories, how much of work mentally and financially that was to bag those up. And now we're paying to store them. Granted, we're fortunate enough to have friends that helped us out, but we're paying to store those cookies, and waiting on a pickup.
And then we can start our payment terms.
And then we get the 30-day clock from there. And so, again, cost of doing business. But, like, once that goes on to, dude, even if it's quarterly volume or I'll take biannual volume, and then we add in the Publix, we add in the HEBs. Really, the reason we haven't been able to scale is because we don't know what the reoccurring volume is.
Right.
And so, like, if you guys understand the logistics of us having to order everything to make it, staff everything to do it, and then get them out and on time, and we need to know what the outflow number even has to be.
Right. Yeah.
We got people standing around, or no inventory, or too much.
Right. Yeah.
Juggle.
Yeah, and
juggle while getting punched in the face.
I think that obviously it's a different product, but we got an idea of how well it will do by how well everything's been going in DashMart, and we grew super fast in DashMart.
World likes the cookies, boy.
So it's really crucial, I think, moving forward.
Those partnerships, right? Those partnerships with folks that have those big reaches, which is like what a Publix is, right? It's like a big reach. We need to be in there so we don't have to like necessarily market or do whatever. We're utilizing something like DoorDash or one of these other apps. Big reach, So it's like the real benefit is everything that we make says fatandweirdcookie.com on it. We also have an e-com store, so that's hard to quantify. That wasn't even in my spreadsheet, dude, because I couldn't quantify that on all the organic traffic that's going to come.
Right.
got to. I go to websites randomly that I see on boxes.
Yeah, we see new products and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just bored. I might go, I wonder what's on here.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's social medias as well.
Right,
Like that's all that's eyes. It's just more attention, and attention is the name of the game.
It is, man.
Let's see. So that was for that.
It's like that video you made on or whatever for we got all those views at on
yeah.
Sick. Killer. I mean, grab attention, you know?
And then I was going to say, so I didn't think about like a travel one, you know, obviously like I think Aubrey and I's New Year's resolution is to start on the Montana house, which we kind of already have. Like we have met with a builder now,
right?
He's walked the property. So we're kind of like talking to him. So I think, you know, I guess a tangible goal would be to have a decided on, agreed upon house plan by the end of 2024 that can start construction in the spring because they
that's what y'all were saying
work during the winter really. Yeah, essentially they'll work in the winter if it's inside framing, but like sometimes there's snow, so you can't build and you can't like go into the ground to put any supports in.
You ought to look into seeing what kind of like pre-engineered beam structure can be got because they can do whole pre-engineered beams structures.
Yeah,
so it goes pad. Bolts right down like this.
Yeah.
They don't have to be squares. They can run cantilever beams. They can do patios, whatever. They skin it with the same metal, and then you go right over top of that with brick. It doesn't brick or whatever facade you want, just because you could get that up so fast.
Yeah.
And then you just really are facade framing the inside.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely look at it.
We were looking into it, but it's
like a barn dominium.
Yeah. Well, we were looking at with Slims when we were building all those. It was cost prohibitive for us at the time, but we found a company that was doing KFCs that were like, we'll ship you the KFC. So you poured a pad in 30 to 60 days afterwards. They came and bolted this thing together.
It's like the Murphy Express that went in over here on the corner.
Exactly.
Like I literally drove by and they were unloading two pieces and then connecting these two pieces together. The entire Murphy's went in a week.
Yeah.
It literally, there was pads out there and then the next day there was a building.
You can't find reliable subs. You can't, you can't find reliable contractors or materials in the world. Yeah. So they're just like, cool, we'll ship it to you.
But yeah, so by the end of the year, have a like completed just design plan so that way we can like start on the house in the spring, whatever that is. I mean, I think that this is going to be a goal that like I don't have a lot of control over, but that Aubrey and I would like to get pregnant next year. So we would like to have another kid and
babies.
So
I need y'all to make that happen.
Yeah. So we're gonna work on that one.
Yeah. All right.
So, I mean, like I said, that one, it may be outside of, our control to some extent, but either way.
Well, good luck. Good luck keeping the work that you have to do fun. It sounds fun and it starts out fun and then it's just like scheduled sex sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, you make the best of it. Sorry, whatever. But my wife and I had to do it with, we had issue, Liam, easy. Emerson, her little stubborn ass wouldn't come on. So it's her personality.
Yeah.
Isla didn't think we had anything to worry about. So like Emerson, we tried for over a year. And it's like, okay, I mean, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get romantic and like get in the mood and it not be like so mechanical or whatever.
Yeah. And it does wear on you too. Just like, every, week that passes by that you're like, oh, yeah. I guess it'd be really every month, but every month you're like, nope. So you got your period, huh? All right.
Damn.
So, but no, so that's it. But really, I don't have like any crazy, goals out there. I think I just want to really focus on Fat and Weird. I didn't really set a social media goal for like subscribers or followers or anything like that. Cause I just don't know how big of a part social media is going to be in my life next year other than, to share my life.
Yeah.
I don't view it the same way as I viewed it, 5 years ago. More, it was more a job 5 years ago. Now it's like,
yeah, well, you've opened my eyes to like, I know that it's there and I know it's going to be around forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not having one is like not having a resume, sort of. In the way my brain views it, because it's like, and so I don't have to like meet somebody new and like really try to sell them that I'm this thing, it's like kind of, you can Google me, dog. You kind of see what I've done. If we are similar, then cool.
It's your personal brand.
Yeah, it's your brand, man. And so like you kind of have, I mean, again, if you're just out there, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't know what you're going to be doing or when you're going to be doing it. I wish I would have recorded more stuff because I've done so many different industries. So, but I've always kind of done the same thing.
But you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know, right? And so, yeah, you kind of open my eyes on that. I'm definitely wanting to record more now. But I don't have a purpose for it other than that.
Well, I mean, I don't think that there needs to be a purpose.
I don't really either.
The other day I was thinking back. Obviously, Aubrey shared every week her pregnancy on YouTube, like doing a bump date video, right? And I thought about that the other day. I said, obviously, I think there's women that she helped through that process.
Sure.
But even if she didn't help anybody, I can go back now and watch those. Yeah. Letty can go back now and watch those, and we can see that and relive those moments. Yep. So even if no one watched the New York trip vlog, I can go back and watch it, and it's my own little home video for me.
And that's my attempt anytime I'm doing anything that I make a video on, because I was so resistant to it. Because again, I know plenty of, just like you know, plenty of famous Instagram or whatever influencers. They get worn out when it feels like a job. It gets worn when you have to do that baby bump video, because like people are gonna be mad. Like you have to. But if you could just be like, watch it or don't. Like, I'm doing this for me. Like, you will help people. Yeah. And you will do it in the interim, but it's like, I don't work for you. Like I work for me. I work for my family. Right. Like I work for this business. I work for Fat and Weird. I work for help somebody with their whatever I'm sharing, man. And if it rubs off on somebody, cool, you know.
Well, I mean, I definitely even have pushed myself on that this year. I think that earlier in this year, I said I was going to spend less time on social media, and I definitely have. I used to post every day, spend a lot more time on social media. But for me, I used to be like, well, I need to post. Like, I have to post. Like, or I can only do certain type of content, you know? And then
makes
I was
it feel
finally like,
jobby.
You know what? I don't care if I want to post
I want to do more stuff, or I want to make more content, but I want to do more shit. Like, me and you go do something fun on a video. We can get eyes on the brand. We can have fun in the process, you know? We're running into a lean season right now, but I'm sure we can find a couple nickels to rub together in the future to, you know, like we talked about, making a s'more or
right.
Who knows, man? Renting a vehicle, whatever, man. Blowing something up, jumping out of a plane. Who cares, right? But just have fun. I want to do some content like that. I want to do it, and then I want to remember and make it cool. And that type of stuff gets so attention grabby, at least in the back of your mind, like you brought up, Red Bull. Yeah. You just feel like they're fun. I don't like their energy drinks, but I feel like they're a cool company, and I don't like their flavor of their drinks. Yeah. Period. But
I would imagine it'd be a cool company. Right. And it's just like, all based on the brand image that they've created.
Yeah, like Chubbies, you know, or something. Yeah. You know, they're just like,
they're fun.
Having a good time over there.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, because of those shorts?
Yeah.
Let me get a pair.
The vibe they give off is just like, it is,
man. So it's kind of cool. I want to do some of that type of stuff. It's fun. You know that, like you've talked about, I think we've even said on here, attention, right? And then data. Well, I'm an entrepreneur, man. I know that that's coming, so I'm learning how to get it now. Why not? Take my advice. Yeah. Figure out how to get it now. If you don't know how to use AI, you're a little behind. Don't get way behind.
Well, yeah, I think we actually
start using it now.
I actually saw something. Speaking of AI, I don't want to derail you, but like I actually saw something where, is it very high up in a tech company like Google or someone like that was essentially stating like, if you don't start messing around with the AI right now, layman people, anybody, then you will be left behind in the next year because it will be that far. Like you will be just left behind.
Yes, and it's moving too fast. You know. ChatGPT 5 is going to be so much bigger than ChatGPT 4.
Because 3 was
just like the inverse. Right. So every time we're asking it to learn, it's now learned it. You know, so it's like I already got you, dog. Like it's insane. Like if you aren't messing with it now, if you don't know how to prompt it, if you don't know how to task it, if you don't know how to attach it to things, or you don't have people who are learning that on your team for you, get them, figure it out, or just realize that like you're going to get outpaced. So I am a very fast mover. I like tools that allow me to go fast, but also get a lot of things done. These things are going to allow businesses to blow past others in terms of outbound reach, inbound processing, logistics planning. It's smarter than everyone. It's more accurate until like some weird minutia, but it can do so much that at least hands off to you to approve that like, oh, next year they're almost employee ready, capable now.
Right. I mean, they have customer support chatbots.
Yes.
100%.
Well, and they have ways to write continuous prompting scripts. So it's just like it kind of keeps flowing off its own thing and expanding
right
on the same thought until you kind of tell it to stop or scrub parts of it. You know, paragraphs 1, 2, 5, get rid of. I like 3, 6, and 7. You can just talk into your computer like that. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. And same with art and
outbound phone calls, outbound emails, customer reach, customer contact, data scrubbing, SEO, all of it, man. Yo, look at this website. Who are its competitors? This is my website. How can my website be more like that from a,
write the code
but not just technical. Like what are people spending time on, right? They got all those widgets that know where you're on the page and your phone and interacting. It's nuts. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So
where and how are you learning this, or who are you listening to learn this?
Oh man, we need to get a set of links together. Various sources on the internet with my ADHD brain kind of jumping all over
I think
the
a lot
place.
of it's social media, which, blessing and curse, right? Spending time on social media. I think there's just so much knowledge out there. You're almost drowning in the knowledge.
Mine do come through a lot of links that are at least written by something again, I like to read it.
Yeah.
Sometimes just hearing, so y'all think I'm lying. Go fact check it yourself. But sometimes when I hear that and I see something, it's like, hey, yo, guys, check this out. On social media, I'm just like, I don't believe you.
Well, a lot of mine
and
were
then
interviews.
I have to check.
Yeah. Okay.
It almost always, a lot of it's right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying, but I just go like, I feel like I'm getting scammed because I don't know the person. If you tell it to me, I believe it because I believe you. I know you. I'm like, who's this random person? And a lot of the people that you've shown me the videos, so it's different,
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, who's that? Why do they know that?
Yeah.
I have to fact
What
check.
qualifications?
Right, but anyways.
Then you click on their social media profile.
You know what?
And you're like,
hey, I'm lying. I'm lying. Y'all don't mess with AI at all.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it at all. I don't need any competition in the future.
Yeah, that's true.
In the future, but like next month.
Yeah. In the oven with us?
In the oven, baby.
Or competition?
We should have guests on. I know we talked about that. We should get a list.
Goal for the podcast?
That's definitely a goal.
To bring on a guest every once in a while?
Bring on guests.
Yeah. We'll have to sit down and figure it out. I know probably get Max to come on here.
I'm sure we can get it, man. We talked about doing the layout.
I want to go on Nick Bear's podcast.
No.
So. What?
Podcast studio.
We'll have a podcast studio by the end of 2024?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Bro, we can bang some shit together. You and I, we got tools.
Yeah, I know. We could do it quickly when we decided where we were doing it or how we were doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we could do a little mobile setup. A little mobile situation, like a figure out a way to get a Connex, like a small one up on the landing, and then we can like move it if you wanted to, maybe. Right?
That'd be interesting.
Be kind of
neat. I mean, it'd be easy.
It would be
to do that.
Put a little window on there.
A skylight, get all that natural light coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just tint it.
Do
what? You don't want a skylight? All that natural light just flooding in.
Nah, dude, he wants all that. I just looked at the lights. Now I can't see.
Well, then what you can do is put a diffuser on there, so you just get this soft glow everywhere,
glowing.
Yeah, you just feel like
we're in heaven.
Yeah, you're walking. I'll tell you this:
in the oven, it's like
it literally would
so
be
bright.
In the oven, yeah,
from heat.
I'll tell you this: when I walk outside this building, it is so
some days.
Bright.
Yeah, man. I lost my sunglasses, and I have already sensitive eyes, so it's like, dude, I walked out yesterday. And I was like, I walked back in and I was like, I can't dots. I'm like, I can't see.
Yeah, yeah. It's the white building.
Right now, I got dots in my eye from looking at the dang camera.
Yeah. But anyways, we're up on about 50 minutes. This is
Cool.
a normal time
This
to
was a
wrap
fun
it up.
one.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed being in the oven with us.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you next week. You're worth it. Do hard shit.